What's up, guys? It's your boy Pete, and welcome back to Wishlist Wednesdays. Alright, guys, what we normally do here on Wishlist Wednesdays, I pick two plants from my wish list. If you're following me, or well, how about this? If you aren't a plant person, maybe you never heard of a wish list or a plant wish list. It's just like any other wish list. What I normally do is just choose two plants from that wish list and go over the aspect of these plants. You know, whether they need high humidity, can't stand humidity, low humidity, bright light, indirect light, things of that such. Pricing is definitely an aspect that we go over. So again, I choose two plants from this list and just go over them. Now, this wish list of mine has expanded so much since I've dived into houseplants, and it's just, when you dive into things, you usually go head first, like literally head first. So I've acquired a lot of these plants. If I'm not mistaken, the next video or the next wish list video is going to be the plant acquired edition. I did one of those, I think, earlier this year, so I have acquired a lot of my wish list plants this year, and just in general since I've been doing wish list Wednesdays. You know, it used to be every Wednesday, but I changed it to once a month simply because of even though I do have the plants to continue to do the wish list Wednesdays, it was just a hassle for me, honestly. So I just did it once a month. These are normal. Some of these plants are some of the plants that you can find, which are, you know, not normal, but easy to find plants. Then some of these are hard to find, and a lot of them are rare. I won't say impossible to find, but almost impossible to get, at least for the average plant person. Now, if you're out here spending 6, 7, 8, 10K on a plant, those are your priorities, not mine. But it's usually that these plants are fairly high priced, so it'll definitely be a while before I get my hands on them. If it's high price, then we're talking years at that point. There's no way I'm spending. There's no way, guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. Now, the first plant that I'm going to go over, let's go ahead and go with this Philodendron. Now, this Philodendron, I have, I would say its cousin out there, or they could be fairly related. The pictures and information that you do get online, a lot of those can be accurate, but some of those are just, you know how some people just name plants just because they can do it, and it's not the literal name of the plant. It's just Kiki's red stem Philodendron, when it could just be a red emerald or a red stem Florida, something of that such. But anyway, there's this cousin that I have out there, which is split finger. That one used to be a Philodendron. It's still a Philodendron. It is reclassified as a, here we go, a Philodendron. Well, it's not even a Philodendron. It's a, it starts with a T, guys. Tomatophyllum, something like that, of that nature. You definitely know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I do that, but it's still a Philodendron to me. It's still, I'm pretty sure it's either closely related or someone just switched the name down the line and it just went from there. But anyway, this is the variegated kind. This is the Philodendron Tomatophyllum, if I got that right, you guys, Williams, variegated. Now, of course, we'll be adding pictures up here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, but it looks almost exactly like the one that I have out there, which is the split fingers, but the leaf shapes, if you ever grew a Philodendron split fingers, or matter of fact, it comes more close to the Philodendron atom. The leaves are more like a pancake, kind of, let's say a fat-footed animal, if you get my gist. If you took that Philodendron atom leaf and made it as a footprint, it's kind of fat leaves with little small stubby fingers on it. The same one with the split fingers, before it matures, it grows the same way, but of course the leaves get a lot more fingery as that plant matures. But as you can see by this picture, you guys, she is beautiful. Now, mind you, I could have just went with the variegated version of the one that I have, the split fingers, but simply because this here leaf shape is a lot different, I do find it more attractive than the variegated split fingers. Now, mind you, if I ever get my hands on one of those, she's in my collection, but just to choose of the two, I'll definitely get this one. The leaf shape stays the same, of course, just like I said, like the Philodendron Atom, which I do love. I took the Philodendron Atom off my wish list. Side note, I took it off my wish list simply because it, in the aspect of the non-variegated like the Williams, it's just a simple tree philodendron, kind of like the split fingers itself. Of course, the fingers don't split, they just stay kind of stubby, big and stubby rather, as they grow and mature. But this here plant and the variegation in this here plant is just spectacular. Now, of course, just like any other variegated plant, well, not like any other variegated plant, kind of like any other variegated plant, if you get a specimen with grade A DNA, variegation DNA, then that plant is really going to show out. And I mean show out, especially if you give it the things that it need: bright light, humidity, things of such. This plant will go boom, and I mean boom. And you can tell by the picture, whoever this person that has this plant and has been growing this plant, I'm not sure if he grew it from a seedling or a baby plant. But then again, honestly, you never know, because pictures like that and plants of that such, they're grown overseas and the climates are completely different. Some of these climates contain, kind of like Florida, that's warm year-round, probably even warmer year-round, even more humid. They have greenhouses which can contribute to the humidity if they don't, but I'm pretty sure it stays warm year-round. Don't hear anything about snowing or cold, frost, any of that such. But this is a great specimen. Now, I haven't seen anything up under, well, this price, well, this plant, we're talking about pricing, I haven't seen anything that has affordable is not even the word at this point. This plant is so pricey that I wouldn't, it's like if you look at the price, it's like, well, I don't want it anymore. It's one of those plants, but in the back of your head, like if I can get my hands on one of these for a decent price, me personally, for a decent price, and I definitely will get it. Fairly easy to grow. Again, related to the split fingers I have out there, they can tolerate bright, indirect light, but they have to be kind of like any other plant, accustomed to their light, or gradually accustomed to their light. Of course, the more light you give these plants, the bigger the leaves, and of course the variegation will just make your mouth water. All right. Now with humidity, they don't need as much as humidity like your other philodendrons, or other philodendrons. Like my split fingers, grown outside during the growth season, and she's grown inside usually during the non-growing season, just perfectly fine. So the transition from outside to inside to inside to outside, well, from inside to outside is kind of tricky, because you have to get it out there before the sun starts to, I was gonna say percolate, no, before the sun starts to get more sunny, get more hotter. I'm looking for the word and I can't find it. So before it gets a lot more hot than what it is. So what I normally do with my plants that are going outside, I usually do maybe like between the first and second week of spring, even though the nights are usually still cool. This plant is starting to get accustomed to what is going on. So when mid to end spring to summer hits, when the heat is like pounding, then she's already accustomed to what is going on outside. But if you don't, then it does this falling, too much sun, let me just act the full thing. Then once the sun goes away, it perks back up. But all in all, not affordable to the average plant person, but you definitely can take care of this plant with ease, and I mean with ease. Propagating, I don't know. The nodes are very, and I mean very, very tight. I'm pretty sure you can propagate it, but single node propagations that's a lot going on, all right? And what I do love about this here plant is send out shoots, kind of like almost any other philodendrons as it matures. It send out shoots, and you can collect those shoots, or you can just try to propagate it, which I wouldn't do it, but who knows who's propagating. Probably is a better propagator than I am, especially dealing with internoding when they're like super close. But again, not affordable to the average plant person, but affordable to some people and easy to take care of. All right, second plant, you guys. Now this here plant, I want it because of the coloring of it. Now I do know the aspects of this plant that we will go over, which makes these plants in this family hard to take care of. And I've been watching other supporters and other people trying to take care of these here plants in the States, and it's fairly hard. I have yet to see a spectacular specimen of this thing. I'm trying to think to make sure. I'm pretty sure there's some out there that has been grown in the United States into bigger specimens and not just bought bigger specimens. Even when you buy these bigger specimens, they tend to tank. So with that being said, you guys, this is the Lubicia specimen Ryu, R-I-A-U, pink. Now these Lubicias comes in 80 million trillion varieties, and I just did this boop. You know, I chose a turtleback a few months ago, which is still a spectacular plant. Now this here Ryu, if I'm not mistaken. Now I love this here plant again. Simply, if we're doing playing on color, I love this here plant. Just imagine a bushel of these or a pot of these just stuck in any part of your plant collection. I guarantee you they will stick out. Now these here plants remind me of not the cardboard plant. I call them the stuff you put in the salad, croutons. Ha! I call it the crouton plant, but they're called crotons. They probably by now, if I'm not mistaken, or just randomly thinking, they could have been reclassified to a Dracaena. Everything has been reclassified to a Dracaena for some odd reason, but yeah, it reminds me of that plant, but those croutons are a lot easier to take care of than the Lubicia, simply because you can put those outside, just give them bright light and make sure you water them, and they will grow kind of sort of with no ease. They are spider mite magnets, keep that in mind, but as long as you have bright light, humidity, I'm not sure, but everything usually loves humidity. But as long as you have bright light and you're feeding and watering it, that crouton will grow. Now back to this here Lubicia. I've heard some things and I've seen some things, but the foliage on this here plant, from what I'm hearing, I've never seen one up close, never touched one, but from what I'm hearing, they are kind of like the crouton plants. They're a lot firmer. The ridges are more in depth. On top of the leaves, again, it kind of reminds you of the leaf of the crouton or a leaf of a magnolia tree. Trying to give you guys even some Hoyas. You know, some Hoyas, the vein, they have the rising veinage on the leaves where you can rub and feel the actual print of the vein on the leaves, something of that nature. Which is why I still don't understand, like, why some of these plants, I don't know, I usually thought, like, the thinner the leaves, like, the more humidity it would need and things, but these are some thick leaves plants, and when we're talking about the things that they need, like, you definitely have to have bright indirect light. That's what growing, literally with any of these, like the croutons, any of your jewel orchids, things that you would think that don't need the bright light, need the bright light. So these need bright light and extra over-the-top humidity. We're talking 9,999% humidity in order for these things to thrive and grow. And I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact, like when companies are sending other support of these plants, they're coming out of a greenhouse, which is fairly humid. So you definitely have to give this plant high humidity, even if you're trying to get it to readapt to your lower humidity conditions, because coming straight out of high humidity, and then trying to get it to adapt to lower humidity, you're asking for it. So you would definitely have to get a setup for this thing for high humidity, at least until maybe you can train it to grow with lower humidity, which means a lot of leaf damage, curl damage, a lot of foliage falling off. So with me even going over the aspects of this plant, do I even want it? Yes, I want it, especially the turtleback. But if you give these plants high humidity, bright, indirect light, of course, you definitely can grow these plants with no problem. And again, I've yet to see anyone in the States that have grown a specimen of such without any issues, aside from maybe losing a couple leaves, and it's still just flourishing. But of course, outside of the States, especially on Instagram, freaking spectacular. Now, pricing, a lot of these Lubicias are very, very affordable. You can find something under the 3 digits or within the 3 digits. I'm not paying anything above 3 digits for a plant, but there are some out there which I'm pretty sure is bigger size and a lot more on the scale of rare. Is relativity a word? The scale of being rare. So it all just depends on the price, not the shape of the plant, how old the plant is, and usually it's shipping and stuff and where it's coming from. But again, if you get these in your possession and they're grown in the greenhouse, the best thing to do to keep that plant alive is to replicate where she's coming from or wherever you got it from. But that is it here, you guys, for today's video. Now, if any of these pictures are not tickling your fancy, do me a favor, go to your whatever your search engine is, Google, Yahoo, search, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook, and search these here plants. Especially go to Google and search the family of Lubicias. That color, those color patterns was just to die for. Like, I wish these leaves would come on different types of philodendrons and Hoyas, and or some calatheas do have this sort of pattern, but it is just spectacular. Ooh, even like a Sedapsis. But yeah, guys, that is it here for today's video. Please do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know, do you have any of these plants? Let me know, did you pause the video, stop, and search them? Let me know your thoughts on these 2 plants. Again, that there philodendron, the Mataphyllum, is, excuse me, way out of budget. So that's what you call a true wish list plant. Lubicia, of course, is, I have the hiccups, more affordable. Things that, whoa, did you can't hear that, but I have the prices that are more manageable in the Lubicia, excuse me, you guys, in the Lubicia family. So let me know down in the comment section below. Also, you guys, we're on the road to 1,000. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you do share with your cousins, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your PE teacher, whatever the case may be. I think that is it. Everything that I do use here on the channel will be down in the description box below. Go and check those out. My social handles are down there as well. Whatever I post on Instagram usually goes straight to Facebook, and I'm usually on Instagram more than Facebook anyway. And I think that is it. If you want to support the channel, I have my Cash App and things down in the description box as well. So go and check those out. And that's it, you guys. See you on the next Wishlist Wednesday. Bye.